I tried using the 12-week year method at the beginning of this year, and let's just say I failed. Hi, my name's Emily. If you're new to my channel, then welcome. If you're not, then welcome back. So what exactly went wrong? Well, I decided to look back at my first 12-week year and see exactly what went wrong and why I think it was a failure. Let's take a look together. I'm going to screen record on my iPad, so I'm going to move over a little bit. Yes, my dog Arlo is here sleeping on the bed, but I will be inserting the screen recording here on the screen. We're zoomed in. I don't know how to make this thing go away yet. They updated Notability and I still don't exactly know how to. There we go, that works. Okay, so my 12-week year was from January 2nd to March 27th, and it's currently the beginning of August, so it's been some time since my first 12-week year, you can say. So we can look at my goals and tactics that I set for the first 12-week year. Sorry, I have notes over here too as well. But so my goals for the 12-week year, starting with personal, was to lose 7 pounds. My professional or business was to meet the requirements for monetization on my YouTube channel and then earn $100. And then I changed the production to school because that is what fit best for me. And for that, I had on here to do 3 evaluations and get A's. And that included creating a more effective study routine. For the evaluations, this was during my clinical, my 5-week clinical, so I was hoping to participate in 3 evaluations. So now we can go down to the tactics. So for my tactics, I only wrote them out for my professional and business goal and then my school goal. I did not actually write one out for my personal goal. In regards to my personal goal, like I said, I didn't write out any tactics for it, and I honestly think I achieved this one based on luck or just chance because I wasn't doing anything towards it. I wasn't regularly exercising or anything like that. I think it just kind of happened. So I don't feel like it's weird to say that I achieved it because I didn't actually actively try to achieve it. It just is something that kind of happened. Okay, let's start off by going through my tactics for YouTube. This was to reach my goal of getting monetized and then making $100. So my tactics were to post 2 YouTube videos and 1 YouTube short per week, every week. And then I wanted to stay 1 week ahead on videos starting at week 3. And then I also wanted to learn about making TikToks and then start making at least 1 TikTok a week and film and edit 2 videos and 1 hour of video research every single week. So I think for the most part, I did stick to these tactics except for the TikTok. I never actually even started that, but for the most part, I did stick to the other tactics. But then I started to kind of fall off at the end, and eventually I wasn't able to kind of keep up with those. After the 12-week year, I also stopped paying attention to my YouTube channel for a while, and I didn't even realize that there was a time period that I was no longer monetized. And let me look. This time period was from May 15th to June 21st. And although this is not part of the 12-week year, it was kind of upsetting to find out that there was that whole time period that I was not even able to make any money through YouTube. And this was because since I wasn't paying attention to it, I didn't realize that I had not verified my identity yet, and so they took my monetization away. But since then, I do now have it back. But again, that's super upsetting because I lost a little bit over a month of potential earnings. With all that being said, I did reach my goal of hitting monetization on my YouTube channel, but I did not even get close to my goal of $100 during that 12-week year. I only got $9.84 out of the $100, which honestly, it would have been almost impossible for me to reach that since I didn't reach my goal of monetization until the end of the 12-week year. Let's go through my tactics for my goal for school. So I'll just read through them. I was hoping to review all of the information covering the knee, and I put on there to start helping my CI. And then I wanted to complete 1 eval and split 2 evals by the end of my clinical. I wanted to review my materials weekly so that I was making sure that I was keeping up on the content that we learned from the previous semester. I wanted to finish the hourly breakdown of my professional exploration project. I wanted to find a mentor and start my interviews for my professional exploration project, and I wanted to finish my professional exploration project. I'm laughing because I know I definitely didn't do that because I still have not finished that project to this day. I'm just popping in to make a slight correction. I noticed when I was editing that I misread that. It says finish my project proposal, not like my full project, and I'm pretty sure I did finish my proposal during this time. Yes, I haven't finished my whole project yet, which I've been working on it like the last couple days and making some progress. Still not done, but I was just being dramatic here, and I did actually get that done during this 12-week year period. Like I said before, during this 12-week year, I was in a clinical and then starting back into the next semester, and I basically didn't complete any of these tactics. I did reach the goal of getting A's on in my classes, but I did not do 3 evals. I actually didn't even do a full eval by myself, but I did like bits and pieces of evals to help out my CI, but I never did like a full-on eval by myself. I also did not create a more efficient or effective study routine. I essentially kept doing my same old cramming, and although I did get A's, I did it in a very stressful way. So those were my main goals and the tactics going along with them. So I'm not going to go through every single week, but let's look at some of the averages in my completion rates and the amount of tactics I set for each week. So I went through and wrote out all of the percentages for the weeks, and I'm going to post a chart of them all up on the video right now so that you guys can kind of see how it trended and the averages. So as you can see, it was going okay, not the best at the beginning, but then on week 5 I got sick, and you can see the result of that in week 6. There was a large drop after that week of being sick. And then week 11 is incomplete, so I was unable to even determine how many tactics I actually completed because I never finished filling that out. And then for 12, I didn't even plan those tactics, so it's just 0, I guess. But the average percentage of completion rate for all of the weeks, including all 12 weeks, is 45.6%. And then if I were to take out the last 2 weeks to see how the first 10 weeks went, then the completion rate would be 54.7%. But that's not really fair to do that because we need to include those last 2 weeks. So in reality, it was that 45.6% completion rate. Hello, I'm just popping into the video here to ask you to please consider subscribing to my channel to help me get to my goal of 1,500 subscribers. It would mean the world to me. So anyways, let's get back to the video. After looking at this, I was curious to see how the number of tactics that I created or set each week affected my completion rate. So I decided to look through those and create a chart kind of comparing so that you could see the rate of completion with the amount of tactics set. And honestly, when I went through these, I at the beginning was setting around 13 each week. There was one week where I only had 11 because the PDF that I was using to set each week only had 13 slots, so I was kind of maxed out at that. But then when I started using my Notion template, I had more room to set more tactics. So that first week using my Notion template, I actually set 24 tactics to complete, and I finished 75% of them, so that's pretty good, but it might have been a little bit too much for me to handle in a week. And then after that, I set 11 on week 11, and then obviously I can't see for week 12. So when looking at this, I honestly don't think there is a relationship between how many tactics I set and how many I end up completing, so I don't know if that honestly affected it. So what do I think went wrong? Well, obviously I was not completing my tactics. My goal was to hit 85% of my tactics each week because that is what is recommended by most of the 12-week year like books and everything like that you read, and I was not hitting that. The average was 45.6%, so not even close to that 85% that you want to hit. Looking back, there was actually not a single week that I hit that 85%. In order to complete these, I honestly think it comes down to the fact of being realistic with myself and how many tactics I choose to set to complete, and then just having that self-discipline to make sure they actually get done. I think lack of self-discipline is a big issue. I'm trying to run on motivation where I need to actually be using some discipline. I would say that my main distraction from completing these tactics is my phone. I spend way too much time on social media, specifically TikTok and YouTube, and I honestly should be spending that time making my own videos rather than watching them and consuming the content. I don't want to just dwell on the negatives. There were some positives that came out of this experience. First off, my channel did get monetized, and now I am making some money off of my YouTube channel. And I also got A's in all of my classes. On top of that, I created a Notion template that I think honestly works pretty well for me, better than those PDFs that I was originally using. It's easier to kind of edit and move things around, and then you can see your percentages, which helps me a lot. Obviously, there's still changes I can make to this and tweak it to make it even better, but it is working for me right now. I've also just learned so much on what works for me and what doesn't work for me. So what is my plan going forward? I'm not giving up on the 12-week year altogether. I have taken a break, but since then I actually started another 12-week year. I'm not saying it's going perfect yet, but I have started another one, and I am determined to make it a productive and successful one. So I don't know if I'm going to be sharing every single 2 weeks like I did last time, but I definitely will be sharing my experiences with it at some point. Another plan is that I'm going to be much more disciplined, and I'm not going to let a bad week set off the whole rest of the 12-week year, because that is something I noticed happened last 12-week year. I had a bad week, I got sick, and then it set me off from there. And I had another like medical thing happen during it too, I'm pretty sure. But still, I can't let those things just ruin all the rest of my plans for my goals. I'm going to try to set a screen time limit for myself for like YouTube and TikTok to see how that works. I'm a little hesitant to just delete YouTube altogether because I do use the app to answer back to comments and stuff like that. So I don't want to just completely delete it because I'm afraid I won't see my comments and be able to reply to them as quickly. But if it comes down to it, if I can't get it under control, then I might have no other option but to delete it and then have to check my comments like on my computer or something. I probably should delete the TikTok app, honestly. I've had times in the past where I did delete it and it saved me a lot of scrolling, but I don't know, maybe my TikTok hasn't been as bad lately. I feel like it's mostly just when I'm trying to fall asleep at night is when I end up scrolling through it, so it keeps me up a little bit later than it probably should. So maybe I do need to think about deleting it. I think Arlo has moved around multiple times during this video as he's been asleep. He is like the laziest dog ever. He's just always sleeping. Anyways, that was a lot of information about my 12-week year and a lot of negative information, but I'm trying to keep a positive outlook. We're gonna see how this next 12-week year goes for me. Let me know in the comments if you want me to share my experience or how often you want updates. I will say I'm about a week in right now, so I probably will be further in when this video posts, and I might not be able to share as much. I was thinking maybe doing like every month update rather than every 2 weeks, so kind of like every 4 weeks. But give me some feedback in the comments, let me know what you want to see, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Learn from my mistakes, don't make the same mistakes as me, and just come along on this journey of me trying to achieve my goals. If you did enjoy the video, then I would love it if you would give it a like and subscribe to see more videos from me, and I will see you guys back in my next video.